Good evening, my name is Garrett and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from Storywood Tequila. This is their Anejo single malt Scotch cask matured tequila coming in at a 40% ABV, 14-month age statement. Now, for full disclosure, this bottle's actually sent over for me to be a part of. This bottle's actually sent over from Storywood Tequila, so I could be a part of a virtual tasting for it, but we're also going to be doing a review on it, so just keeping that transparency open. So more recently, I've actually got to sit down with Storywood Tequila and try the Reposado, and I freaking loved it. I thought that it was done so beautifully. Now, this is their Anejo version, so essentially what Storywood is doing is taking a tequila made in Mexico and exclusively aging it in single malt Scotch casks. Now, they tell us that they can't tell us where this comes from. Now, they tell us that they're not 100% sure where this comes from, but they're guaranteed to always get at least 10-year-old barrels of single malt. Now, according to Storywood, they are actually not allowed to know where their barrels come from, but they are guaranteed it comes from the same distillery that they held single malt Scotch whiskey. Now, they do come from Dufftown region in Scotland, and if you look around there are a handful of big distilleries that, they might be coming from. You can take your pick and let you guess at home. But nonetheless, I did love what the Reposado did. And being a person that's getting into tequila more and more, I like seeing a different spin on things. A lot of times we see just tequila aged in ex-bourbon casks, very seldom dancing too much outside of that. So being that this is exclusively single malt Scotch is really cool. So let's go ahead and jump into things. As always, we're going to be trying it two different ways. First way, neat, no ice, no water. Second way, we'll add just a drop of water, see if anything changes up. And as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hang around for a bit. I will be linking the other review of the Reposado up above and down below. And they do have some other things coming down the pipeline. So if I get the opportunity to review those, they'll be there as well. Along with a link to their website. So you go check them out and kind of do some research about the brand too. And we'll also be doing an A-B comparison between the two because the Reposado is exactly 7 months younger than this. So I'm really curious on that age difference, on what really pops differently. But the Reposado it wasn't even like a tequila, but it had so many unique characteristics that tequila would give you. And we've seen Scotch be done in tequila casks and bourbons as well, so it's really cool to see those differences kind of being played across country lines like that. Beautiful light color, looks very much like an Isla. Very pale, very light, very pale golden. Looks very much like a Isla Scotch whiskey, very pale, very light yellow if you want to go that route as well. But nonetheless, let's go for notes. Ooh, that reminds me more of a tequila than the Reposado does. So you're greeted right away with this beautiful, rich agave. And it's just got a beautiful earthiness in there. And it's got this earthiness layer going on. Vanilla, definitely. No ABV, nothing harsh. A light pepperiness in there. Oh. Now, yeah, this reminds me more of a well-aged tequila than the Reposado. The Reposado brought across a lot of Scotch notes, like almost a maltiness to it. But this just smells like a beautifully aged tequila. The blue agave is playing really well with the vanilla, and that earthiness is really deep and heavy in there. That bit of pepperiness, a little bit of spice in there from the cask, maybe a little bit of a layer of an oak in there too. But it is very light. All right, let's go for a taste. Beautiful cooked agave right up front on the palate. It kind of then rounds out to bring out a little bit of that malty characteristic from the cask. And this vanilla, the oak layer is beautiful in there. It's very dense on the oak layer. I'm really surprised on how much that oak layer comes across in the taste. especially for a tequila. But then this pepperiness comes up with the earthiness. Maybe a little bit of a smokiness in there as well. Just a light layer of a smoky element. That is a beautiful tequila. I love the spice layer that's going on. It's giving you those almost maltiness in there as well, but not quite a maltiness. It lingers on the palate forever, it feels like. Like I'm still getting this beautiful cooked agave note going on. Maybe a little bit of a caramel or a toffee note going on now with that, just a little bit of the earthiness playing with that caramel note, kind of bringing that out too. This is a great sip. Still no harshness, no ABV, no off notes when it comes to that agave flavor. I've had some tequilas go very strange on the taste, and it all has to do with its aging process, I believe, or its distillation, where here it's just a beautifully done tequila. Again, this one doesn't quite give me as much of the Speyside Scotch vibes as the Reposado did, but it's still a very well done tequila. The big thing here for me that's the outliers is that bit of smokiness in there. It's not like a smoky, like a mezcal or a cooked agave note, but it's got this almost a peatiness to it, a peaty earthy, but not quite. It's really solid though. I like that. All right. Is that a little drop of water? See what changes up. Under most circumstances, adding water to tequila can make it go a little transparent, but it might help us find out some notes in the neat version, or maybe, kind of be a little bit better introduction to people that are getting into tequila. Whatever you want to do. As always, it doesn't matter what you drink or how you drink it, as long as you enjoy it. Okay. Let's go for notes on the water version. Oh. Actually, more Speyside's coming out now. A little bit more malty on the nose. Almost the grain. Yeah. You still get all the tequila in there as well, don't get me wrong. Like that blue agave. But you're getting more of the malty grain notes there. This goes a little transparent, but you're still getting a very similar experience to the neat version. Beautiful cooked agave. Little bit of earthiness in there. Not as much of the smoky charriness, which tends to happen anyways. There's no plight against it. But very easy on the nose. Still no ABV, nothing harsh on there either. Let's go for a taste. Actually, more of the pepperiness is coming out on the taste now. Drink's a little thinner, but the earthy pepperiness is coming up more. And that nice light oak layer is still showing up. Still getting a bit of the agave in there too. Actually, that's not a bad sip. This has all the complexity and characteristics, don't get me wrong. But this isn't bad. I think it's got a pretty well-rounded palate on there, even with that little drop of water. Still clings very well. Usually, under most circumstances, again, it goes very thin. But you don't get that same characteristic. It's got some character still showing up throughout the beginning, mid-palate, and the finish itself. Right up front, you're getting more of the malty, grain, spice characteristics of a Speyside. Wow. That is a night and day different sip now. That is gorgeously done. The caramel showing up on the taste. Again, almost like a toffee note is showing up there. The roasted elements are there. Everything you want in a great Anejo tequila is right there. That evolved so much after tasting that. And that's why we do these things. All right, let's talk about market price. Because we all know market price is market price, and it's always going to vary. MSRP on this is about $84, $85 here in the United States. And I'll be honest, I think that's a pretty solid price for a great tequila, especially in Anejo. We're doing something unique. Exclusive Speyside Scotch casks is a winner in my book. That is a beautiful sip that's going to reach across the aisles. If you're a Scotch drinker that's looking to get into tequila, I think this is a good example of something you could try to get yourself into it. And the reverse. If you're a tequila drinker and you want to get into some of the more likely Speyside Scotch, because those tend to be a great intro to Scotch, this is a good option as well. I think it's worth its asking point, and I just really love how well that cask plays with the tequila. It's not just gimmicky or a throwaway cask situation. And being that it's done exclusively in there, you're really honing in those flavors. So in my opinion, that is a darn good tequila. No arguments in my book whatsoever. And again, if you're interested in learning about Storywood Tequila, a link to their website will be down in the description area below. Go show them some love. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Storywood Tequila, a single malt Scotch cask matured tequila. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirit I should go looking for, also let me know down below. I love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may our last drink of the night be the best one.
You know, and I really like it might not.